Stop investing in projects that have absolutely no use case and pay attention to where the value is. Bitcoin is back inside the dollar cost averaging zone. Okay? And historically, every time Bitcoin has entered this zone near the 200 exponential moving average, it wasn't just followed by a bounce. It was followed by a huge move. Okay? 1,644% pump, followed by 710% pump. And now we're back in the same structure. And the question isn't, is Bitcoin weak? The question is, how big is the next move? Because I'm positioned. And we just took a stop loss on Litecoin. Morpho is pushing toward its second profit objective. And Bitcoin just gave me a near perfect entry. And if this dollar cost averaging zone, if this thing plays out the way it has before, we're about to witness something huge, people. So if you enjoy this content, do me a favor, make sure to press the like button. All you have to do is press this thing right here, and then you're subscribed. And let's go to 40 likes, people, because you need to help me out. Do it. Do it now. Press the like button. Do it. And turn on the notification bell, all right? And if you want these things, all these trades and everything for free, join the free Telegram. The link is in the description. Let's go! So let's get into the macro before we get into the charts. First things first, let me show you this chart, okay? Because while retail is scared, the whales are buying like never before. This chart is showing you basically where the retail is getting margined out or banged out, and it's basically being accumulated by the large players, okay? So while you're all worried about Bitcoin going to zero, someone is buying. And you know who that someone is? Your favorite neighborhood banker, Larry Fink. Let's take a quick listen to see what Larry has to say about this. Go ahead, Larry, go.
I believe, I believe it goes up if the world is more frightened, if people have fearful of geopolitical risk, they're fearful of their own risk. It's no different than what gold represented over thousands of years. It is a asset class that protects you. Right. And unlike gold, where we manufacture new gold, we're almost at the ceiling of the amount of Bitcoin that we created.
Somebody like.
All right, so thank you, Larry. Everyone's favorite neighborhood banker. By the way, do you know what, guys? Do you know what Larry is? He's bald, okay, and I like that because that makes me feel good. Anyway, another bald guy for us, rich bald guy. Anyway, folks, time to talk about Trump because that's what time it is. Okay, so Trump was expected to say something major about the Clarity Act in yesterday's State of the Union address. Now, I want to point this out because there's been a lot of these type of tweets on Twitter or X or whatever, and just be careful of this, people, because stuff like this, I don't know, you have to take it with a grain of salt. I'm just saying. It's good that it's out there, especially if you're a Bitcoin bull, but don't let this thing suck you into its, whatever, all right? You understand the point. All right, let's move along, people. That's right, folks. Let's move to the charts. All right, so anyway, we're going to begin here with the Bitcoin weekly chart. Now, on the weekly time frame, like I said, Bitcoin is once again inside the dollar cost averaging zone around the 200 period exponential moving average, as you can see. If you look historically, the first major dollar cost averaging zone was back here, right, where we got the 1,644% pump. You see that? Okay, the second major zone was around here where we got the 710% pump, okay? That's not random. That's structural mean reversion. Now, here's the thing. The lower Bitcoin goes inside of this zone, the cheaper it becomes for long-term positioning. I've been talking about this from every video. Like, I keep mentioning it over and over again, all right? Now, if this structure plays out similarly, then we're looking at a move toward 200,000. I know that sounds a little wild, but I'm just saying it opens up the possibility, okay? So we don't sit here and make concrete forecasts. We adjust to new information as it comes along, but it opens up the possibility, and we need to be prepared for it. All right, next, let's take a look at the Bitcoin daily chart. All right, because here, heavy resistance sits around the 69,000, 70,000 level, and liquidity is it's growing above, okay? We also saw price take the recent swing low. So liquidity was swept. And right after that, we had this bullish reaction. Now, that's important because here is where, this is right here, this is where the trade gets into play. If we get a daily close above this marked resistance, and look, we're almost there, people. You see that? So that right there, that is where momentum flips, okay? That right there is where momentum flips, and from there, the 73,000 to 75,000 area becomes in play. Until then, we respect the structure. Now, let's move on to the 4-hour time frame. So, okay, hold on. That's not the one I want to show you, is it? Yes, it is. Okay, hold on. So, no, that's the 1 hour. So, on the 4-hour time frame, where is my 4-hour chart? Okay, it's actually the 1 hour chart. So, that's what I meant to show you here. This is a trade right here. No, hold on. This is a trade right here on the 1 hour chart where this was a clean sweep, all right? I am currently long Bitcoin. If you say, oh, when was that called? That was in the Telegram channel. So I don't want to hear anything, people. I don't want to hear any complaints. The entry was at 65,223, and it was called in there, in real time. This was a clean liquidity-based entry, almost a perfect fill, all right? Now, I expected maybe some pullback, but price reacted right away. And as you can see, it went straight to the profit objective. I mean, it went straight there, right? Now, I'm not taking partials on this. If the structure supports continuation, and we have a higher low sitting right there. You see that? We got a higher low sitting right there. So now the thing is, if the daily confirms like the resistance we just talked about, then I'm going to look to add to this position. So you want to stay tuned for that in the Telegram channel. I'm just saying. Okay, so now let's talk about Litecoin real quick. This thing stopped out, man. You know, so whatever. We risked 1% and we lost $105, man. If you can't handle that, seriously, people, you shouldn't be in this game. Thanks, Michael. I was going to say that. Anyway, current stats. We have 8 total trades, right? Win rate is 37.5%. The net P&L is still plus $267. Right? The account balance is $10,267. So we're still up 2.68%. Now, listen carefully, people. You do not judge your system over 8 trades. I have to repeat this often because people lose sight of this. You judge this over 50 to 100 trades, okay? Yes, you could lose 3 or 4 in a row. That's normal. But you can also win 6 to 7 in a row. The key is consistency in your plan, right? Psychology is greater than emotions. Now, let's jump over to Morpho because this is a nice trade. It's performing exactly as planned. We're very close to the second profit objective. What is that? Look how nice that is. So the stop loss is now at break even, which means it's a risk-free trade. Even if the chart shows the original the stop loss on exchange, it's moved, okay? So this is now risk-free, and weekly structure reacted perfectly from the red zone. No partials have been taken from this yet. All right, so now the higher time frame bias supports continuation. So let it run. All right, so real quick update on the trade challenge. So you guys know, quick transparency update. We're currently at, I said, 10,267. Now, read this carefully. The win rate is 40% and we're still green. Why? Because this challenge is not about being right every time. It's about risking 1% per trade, maintaining a minimum 2 to 1 reward risk, and letting probabilities play out over 50 to 100 trades. Okay? Yeah, Litecoin reached the stop loss. No emotions. Morpho is at risk-free, right? So there's no risk on that trade because it's at break even. Bitcoin long is active and we trade the plan, okay? The plan continues. You do not judge a plan over 8 trades. You judge it after volume. Now, by the way, all these trades, people, all leverage trades are taken on the WeX platform. Clean, smooth management, especially when scaling, and every single trade is tracked in profits precision. Okay, so the expectancy, the risk, the profit factor, no guessing. Okay, no, I feel like I'm profitable. It is data, and by the way, this is free, completely free to use, even with the premium features. So if you're not using this, man, I don't know. There's no excuse because if you're serious about this game, you need a journal, not vibes. Okay, so people, listen. I'm bringing new trade setups almost every single day. Okay? Bitcoin, Ethereum, alts, leverage plays, liquidity sweeps, everything, breakouts, okay? Entries, stops, the management, the adjustments. Everything goes first inside the free Telegram group. So, you know, you don't want to miss this, right? Not after the move. It's before the move. All you have to do is go to the description. Look right here. It's right here. Okay, you could click it, you could see it, you can expand this, you could click on this link right here, and that will take you there. It's free. So, I don't know what you're waiting for. All right. So again, if you're serious about this game and you want structured positioning and you want to see this $10,000 to $100,000 challenge unfold, make sure you're in the free Telegram because that's where it's at. Okay. The trade plan is over the emotion. Consistency over hype. So people, I will see you in the next one. Let's go!